So recently, amongst the MCU fan base, there has been a lot of discourse due to the fact of projects like Wonder Man and Blade being cancelled. Obviously, Blade is one of those projects that has been through a lot of phases of its lifespan of being relevant and then being irrelevant amongst the MCU. Kevin Feige wanting to do it, and which I'll get into in a second actually. But I think this whole argument right here is bullshit. I think all of this right here is complete and utter shit, because it says here, this post on Instagram was to do with the fact that all these like black-led projects were getting cancelled, and they're saying basically that it has a reason. So the actor of, I think it's Yahya, is it Martin III? I can't remember his name. If I'm wrong, then please correct me, but the actor of Wonder Man, and I thought Wonder Man season 1 was decent. I enjoyed Wonder Man season 1, do not get me wrong, but he says here that it's very obvious why Blade and Wonder Man both got cancelled, and obviously a lot of people in the comments, a lot of people have gone on about how Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, are basically just racist and don't want these black-led projects, but I'm pretty, almost certain that there is a reason why these projects are getting cancelled. Wonder Man Season 1 was good in my opinion, I very much enjoyed it, but amongst the whole fan base, was it very much perceived in a good way? Not really. Was it something that is going to turn over profit in the future for Marvel, and is something that's going to be more important over certain other projects? No. And that's just what the business, this is what the business is when it comes to Marvel, Disney, and other studios as well. Blade is going to happen. Obviously, Kevin Feige admitted that he made a mistake with Blade and that he feels like an idiot and that he feels like a failure, that he didn't get Blade out and that it was treated poorly, because the Blade in general, the movie, the actor, it was treated so poorly, was not done correctly, and I think a lot of people, Marvel, can admit that themselves. They can be the first to admit that the Blade stuff, the treatment of Blade was horrible, but it wasn't anything to do with race. It wasn't because they hate black people, it wasn't because Kevin Feige doesn't like black people and doesn't want these black-led projects to do well, because if they do well, they're going to keep on doing them. Of course they will. But if something like Wonder Man isn't doing well, isn't perceived well, they're not going to keep on pushing out season 2, season 3, season 4 if the fans aren't perceiving it well. Like I said, I enjoyed Wonder Man season 1 and I wanted it to get a season 2. I was really rooting for it to get a season 2. But unfortunately, amongst the other fans, it didn't connect with them, and unfortunately it wasn't going to get renewed for a season 2. And I also think the director, when it comes to Destin Daniel Cretton, is obviously focused on other projects like Shang-Chi 2, Spider-Man 5. There is a lot of other playing factors that have a role in this, and Blade I think is going to happen as well. But if this was the case, then a lot of they wouldn't be pushing Frontline when it comes to Black Panther, when it comes to Storm, if this argument was true, because this argument is just complete crap in my opinion. I don't think it's relevant. I don't think there's any stick to it. And before you all come at me in the comments, I'm just saying my piece on it, because I do not think that this is true. I think that these projects aren't being cancelled because they're black-led projects. It's because, obviously, it is because these projects just aren't being well perceived by fans. Blade is obviously a mistake by Kevin Feige that I think we're still gonna get. We're still gonna get Midnight Suns, and everyone wants to see Blade. It would have hit billion plus in the box office. Everyone knows that. Everyone can't wait to see Blade, and I think it's still going to happen. I just think other things got in the way, like Doomsday, like Secret Wars. Everything got delayed. All things were going wrong at Marvel when it comes to the last couple of years, so I think everything got pushed back, and unfortunately Blade was a part of that and was in that issue, and we're going to get them eventually. But I thought I'd say my piece on this, because I just think this argument, I think this whole conversation about this is just a load of crap, to be honest. And I just want to quickly add to this as well. I'm not saying that the actors are outright calling Marvel and Disney racist. They're just saying that the narrative that they're being attached to isn't what Disney and Marvel should want to be attached to. And that's a fair thing to say, I guess, when it comes to a lot of things that happen in our society when it comes to racism, which is absolutely disgusting. And yeah, it's a shame that it happens in our society. But when it comes to stuff like this, like with Disney and Marvel, I just think that they're not going to continue a show just to get rid of this narrative of that is in our society, because if it's not performing well amongst the fans, amongst Marvel fans, amongst the people in general that watch these shows, they're just not going to continue it. So I think this isn't true, but I completely get where some of these people are coming from, where some of the actors and people that are online are saying this. I get where they're coming from, but I don't believe in it whatsoever.